Hey everybody, welcome back to Mount Tammany Ridge. My name's John. Down here in our barn, we have some shavings and stuff in the back of the truck here that we're gonna throw in the one stall here we have put aside for shavings and other things. So not gonna be a whole lot interesting going on here this afternoon, maybe some odds and ends, and we'll just have to see where it goes. Maybe we might go out and check the hydrant this morning. One of the hydrants that we've had since we actually built the farm, the very first hydrant we put in has never froze up until today. So we'll go out there probably and check that out and see if that has defrosted yet, and be back in service. And probably springtime we'll be pulling that one out and putting a new one in just to be sure that it doesn't happen again. Yeah, so I know I don't really hang out in the barn too much unless there's kind of like a collaborated effort kind of thing going on around here with a bigger maintenance project that has to do with the barn or something related to the horses. But I am I am definitely in and out doing stuff. There's a lot of things that I do down here that have to do with the barn that aren't super interesting. I think probably the most interesting thing that we have done was back when our Clydesdale Charlie had some medical issues that we were trying to take care of and make it so that he could be with us a little bit longer. We had a project that we had to do, building an overhead hoist here in the aisle so that the farrier and the vets that were coming in and out to tend to his tender spots in his feet and things like that. So that was probably a decent amount of content there, or I should say at least decent quality content. I didn't really get to spend a lot of time on it. As any of you who are in the equine or even livestock realm of things, you know that animals aren't always easy, and the bigger they are, the more careful and sketchy things can get. So we really had to focus heavily on making sure that Charlie didn't do anything that was going to hurt himself or anybody around. That was the big thing, and it was quite difficult. He was in pain, and understandably he was a bit of a handful. So if you guys are interested in any of that, the past videos on what we were trying to do for Charlie, you can go back in the videos. I can't remember what number videos those were for upload, but it was the first one was hammock fit for a Clydesdale. If any of you are interested in that subject matter, you can go back through my content list and go back and find those. And there was I believe 2 or 3 different videos talking about that subject matter. So and hydrant stuff, around here, I've been doing a lot of swapping out of hydrants and rebuilding of hydrants and things like that. So I even have some older content posted about a couple different hydrant projects I did for some other local equine farms that had kind of hired me in to fix a hydrant issue that they were dealing with. So But other than that, that's about all I do down here in the barn. I do, fill in the blanks for them, when they got to go out and do something and I need to tend to the horses while they're gone. I do things like that as well. But like I said, I don't know if that's anything any of my subscribers are interested in seeing me do any of that stuff. So if you are, just leave comments down below and let me know what you think. I mean, I do handle the horses occasionally here and there. So if you want to come along for that, that's totally cool too. So it's entirely up to you guys. But I'm going to get back to this before the sun goes down. All right, so I'm down here near the wood yard, and right now at the present moment I'm standing in my tunnel cover. It's a Shelter Logics frame. However, the Shelter Logics cover has been long gone for a while now. So what we have on top as a replacement cover is actually from a truck tarp manufacturer. They're local to us, and they built us this cover with very specific measurements. It was kind of like we'll build it for you, but if your measurements are wrong, it's on you kind of thing. So, but it's been working out great for the round style tunnel building. However, the other one that's more of like a gable style, I'll show you that's got the steep ridge. So, trying to see if I can see where I'm pointing the camera with the sun. So the one right back there has also another truck tarp style material for that one, and because the eaves are pretty steep, or I should say more of a sharp bend, it's not like an obtuse tunnel style deal. So it didn't work so well with that one, just because for the same reasons that the Shelter Logic tarps wear out, is you can't get the tarp to stay tight enough to prevent flapping, right? So you got a lot of wind, and the tarp just begins to flap because over time, you go through heat cycles, it gets warm, the tarp gets slack, and then you keep tightening it up. But what ends up happening is you tighten it up so many times that you run out of adjustment to make it tighter. And then before you know it, you're back to the same situation. It's flapping, and then it's causing premature wear in a lot of spots. So that's what we were hoping to do by, getting custom tarps made, and having this truck tarp manufacturer down the road from us build their version. And I think it was kind of one of those things where we, as the customer, didn't pay enough attention to detail about the problem areas and how to avoid them, or how we thought might be a good way to avoid those problems. And when we sent them the dimensions, that's basically all we gave them was dimensions. We didn't give them any areas that we want built up with extra layers for protection or anything else like that. So we're gonna probably have to do that with the other building, which so far that building doesn't look too bad. Most of the tarp is still in real good shape, but the ridge unfortunately is the weak spot in the whole thing. So as always was, I mean, we've probably replaced the covers on these Shelter Logic buildings probably, I'd say every 3 to 4 years. So we've been here for 24 years maybe. So I'm not gonna do the math off the top of my head because, well, you can laugh. I'm not a math guy. I mean, I'm okay with a tape measure, but you know. So yeah, I'm gonna get the camera turned around here. I'm down in the wood yard. You can see everything behind me. Just give me a second. So yeah, I'm down here in the wood yard, and this weekend we might be goof around with those, maybe even as early as tomorrow, depending on if I can, you know, get a little bit of help during the day. These need to be dealt with. These were the first 4 how can I say, IBC totes that I got, and I got them from a mulch dyeing facility, and they I didn't think it was going to be much of a big deal. There was probably, I don't know, like an inch or 2 of water in the bottom, and unfortunately it kept the dye activated. And the reason why they do that is to prevent the valve in the bottom from seizing up, right? So you know, I acquire these now from a local place, and now I just have them make sure that they're completely emptied out. Now, when you cut them apart, if the insides of those get wet, it will still activate the dye, which is inconvenient, but I'm not going to complain. The price is right. So what we're going to be doing is cutting that apart. The sawdust that I put inside to dry up the water that was in the bottom, we got to dispose of that, and then I got to make 4 lids out of that. Now I would do 8 lids out of that, but unfortunately I wasn't really thinking, and I was cutting the access holes on the wide side, which is the more convenient side for the lids. So now I only have 1 wide side. So I don't know, I might actually throw a tape measure on that and measure the top of the tote versus that, and if these ends will work out okay, I might just cut them off these ends on both sides, and then I'll just have more. So then I will have 8, which would be awesome. But we'll see. The numbers will tell me what I can and can't do. Now down here, the pile shrunk a little bit. Actually, a lot of it. I'd say the pile's probably overall 3 inches shorter than it was when I first started splitting. And we're doing okay there, so I've definitely been doing some splitting. As you can see, I have a partial hanging out here. And over here, can't remember what video number it is, but I had picked up a trailer load of, well, yeah, it was almost a full trailer load of ash from a gentleman out in Verona, New Jersey, and that pile is pretty much gone. I've only got three logs, one of which is kind of a cringe log, honestly. There's a whole lot of you know, crotchy type stuff in there from a bunch of old limbs, I guess, over the years of the tree existing. It's been pruned back and tended to, so you can see they're all just kind of nubs, right? So you know that they've been dealt with. So, but that's my next setup there. That will hopefully, well, yeah, that'll most definitely fill that basket to the top. And then the rest of the ash that I have in the bottom of this pile is just gonna have to wait a while. I think I'm gonna keep on going forward with, you know, what I have here, fill up the baskets. I got all this stuff that I gotta split and get out of my hair, so that'll be nice. It's all you got some cherry and you got some oak in there. I might even do a mixed basket. We'll have to see what happens. And then somewhere up here, and also here, this spot here that I had logs staged in is going to be full again by a significant margin, I imagine. I bumped into a gentleman that has a tree service company not too far from where I live, and I noticed that his pile continually kept getting bigger. So I decided to give him a jingle on an off chance that he might be looking to get rid of it. And turns out he is very interested, and it's about 80 to 85% ash, which I'm super excited about. So we'll be getting a whole bunch of deliveries from his guys over the course of probably a few weeks, I imagine, and we'll be up to our eyeballs in ash, and maybe some other things, maybe a little bit of oak and stuff like that, but definitely from what I could see from the road, it looked like it was almost all ash, so that'll be cool. But yeah, so that's everything that's been going on down here. We've definitely been doing some splitting and some stacking and some delivering. That was pretty cool. It's kind of one of those things where we weren't really feeling like we were ready to sell, but things around here have been really slow, and we had some local neighbors and friends that we've just recently made that were interested in some firewood, and it wasn't for home heating, so BTUs wasn't really a thing that they were concerned about. And they were happy to buy some real nice ash, and they're gonna enjoy that throughout the spring and everything else like that. So that's gonna be real cool, and hopefully that'll keep going. If I keep having good sources of wood, and especially a little bit of help throughout the spring and the summer splitting, boy, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I really do enjoy splitting. The only thing I need to do is make that splitter a little bit more comfortable for me. I either need to raise it up, or I need to do something with the ground where I can lower where I'm standing, as opposed to lifting it. Lifting it is probably the best thing to do. Maybe put it up on some, 6x6 blocks or something like that to give me a little bit, because I'm kind of hunched over the machine right now and my lower back is just killing me. So, but that's going to be it for today. I was hoping to find a couple more things to do, but things just kind of worked out. The hydrant is working, so there really wasn't any, hydrant maintenance or anything to do. So I didn't think going over there and turning a hydrant on was worth your time. Of course, then again, me babbling in front of the camera might not be really worth your time either. So, anywho, everything here at Mount Tammany Ridge is moving onward, and I guess we'll just have to see what comes tomorrow. Oh, another thing, just a thought. This Monday, tomorrow actually, I'm going down the road, probably 30 miles. I got to go pick up a large truckload of HVAC units. Right, so but unfortunately I got to drive it all the way back here and sit on it for the weekend, and then Monday morning I've got to meet a crane in Caldwell, New Jersey, and they're going to be picking 28 units off the back of my truck. So that being said, I'm going to be able to because it's a rigging company that I'm very familiar with. We've gotten quite friendly, and I'm going to be able to put my mag mount likely on the crane and get you guys some really cool action shots, and that would be really cool. I have a video, I think it's number 20 back in my list of videos. Yeah, I believe it's video number 20, and you'll see it right there in the thumbnail. It's the overhead shot of the crane, and it's basically looks like a white tractor trailer down there. And click on that video. I spent a pretty good amount of time on my laptop's editing software to really kind of go out of my way with making sure that there was the right music and the suspense timing and all that stuff. So you might really enjoy that. So remember, video 20. But that's it. If you could, like, comment, subscribe, and a big thank you to everybody for all my subscribers and everything. A big thank you from all of us here on Mount Tammany Ridge. You have yourself a good night.